morning, executives. We are E.E.G.I, a new era of sustainability learning.
Okay, the problem is that nowadays less than 5% of children have access to environmental education. Despite available resources, making effort to engage children into sustainability is limited, and traditional systems have failed to integrate it into everyday learning. Early engagement is essential to develop eco-conscious behaviors and skills needed to address environmental challenges.
Thanks, Julio. What is E.E.G.I? Environmental Education Gamified Intelligence. It's an app that designed to promote environmental learning using fun activities and engaging games. The app uses artificial intelligence for personalized or tailored learning experiences, augmented reality for real-world interaction using 3D solution to learn from your own environment, gamification for engaging experiences like reward system, like challenges, interactive community sessions. The purpose is to make environmental learning a second nature for the next generation with the power of play and technology.
When we look into the prototype, we can view as an internet user how will E.E.G.I will look like. We have three main buttons, being the start game, the view progress, and the settings. The settings would allow the profile to view the user, their information, as well as configuration. The start button will allow you to start different games depending on the topics and the diverse topics throughout the time that you use E.E.G.I. And then the view progress, you can track all the progresses through all the programs and games that you're starting at any point at any time. When we look into the SDGs commitments, we have Ani?
Yes. So our commitment to sustainability is centered around four main sustainability and development goals, and that is number 4, which is quality education, number 13, climate action, number 12, responsible consumption and production, and number 17, partnerships for the goals.
Awesome.
When we look into the why E.E.G.I, we have the AI and AR integration. With the AI section, we have Bubble and Dialog Flow. This would allow the low-code platform to have a fast development without requiring extensive programming, reducing our cost while leveraging our momentum. And Dialog Flow allows the tasks, answers questions, and shares eco-friendly facts throughout our journey. With the AR integration factors, we choose SabWorks and A4Wall because it allows for practical engagement, bridging the AR theory with real-world applications, as well the key features being the object recognitions for children's scan items and the interactive challenges, as well with the scalability, allowing it to the modular design, the geospatial differentiation features with the global environmental challenges.
So in order to measure our success, we will be tracking our progress through certain key features, our competitive advantage being AR augmented reality challenges, then a series of rewards and badges systems, as well as tailored experiences and chatbot assistances.
For the market analysis, to look at the bigger picture, the gaming industry have a skyrocketed growth over the past few decades with a market size of $217 billion. As we go to the target market, that's environmental learning. It also has a market size of $25 billion with a projected compound annual growth rate of 12.3%. That is coupled with environmental awareness and global warming. Our niche market is, our core market is educational game for children. It has a market size of around $18.7 billion with again a compound growth rate of 8.7%. That shows the adoption of game for learning at the early age.
Some competitors like SDG Games and the Eco Challenge app also provide sustainability education for children. Competitor apps like Duolingo also use gamified learning to teach various topics.
I use that.
Excellent.
We'll talk later. We make an app for this.
We can differentiate ourselves from the competitors by leveraging AI and introducing AR to make the everything more immersive and realistic. The launch plan. Our launch plan is for 18 months and is divided in 3 phases. The first phase is the prototype refinement and it goes from the 0 to the 6 month. The second phase is soft launch and early adoption and it goes from the 7 to the 12 month. And the third phase is the full market and growth expansion and it goes from the 13 to the 18 month.
Thank you, Julio. So from this business model, we are able to be financially sustainable to incorporate both subscription and user data collection. For subscription, we have both distinct benefits for per user and per institution. A great selling point is that per institution for 100 people, in which people are able to capacitate from our learning simulations while being cost effective at the same time. User data collection wise, we respect the privacy and consents of our users according to the COPPA law to legally handle the analytics and knowledge to dedicated organizations to further advance the green stimulation and participation. Also, we take the feedback of our users seriously, from which our children receive constructive learning experiences. Parents are enthusiastic to invest in the educational functionality of our AR, and educational institutions provide valuable insights to our testings. With these dimensions, the business model can connect and manifest from strong client base and be financially sustainable to invest in a further fun and impactful learning ecosystem. We are E.E.G.I, and we convert sustainability and environment through a gamified intelligence into achievable and impactful experience. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
I love the closing.
Nice. It's a great idea. It really, yeah, I
A
think
lot
it's
of
awesome.
nice things to say about you guys.
No, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think I'm not a gamer at all, and I personally really like how simple Duolingo is. It's very simple for someone who's not like into gaming. So definitely like the accessibility of your application is very important. I actually have a client who are doing really well. It's called Math Talks. You guys should look into it. It's actually for kids to learn math through application, through games, and they are doing extremely well. There is a high demand in the Boston public schools, Cambridge public schools, but also municipalities are actually contracting with them, where they're actually installing like boards. So you would have like an interactive board where in like a school court where like the kids can just go and play around. So it would be good to look at their business model and see how you can adopt some of the stuff that they did, or even some sort of like collaboration with them as well would be very great. Great job, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
there's something that you guys would have done to make these just pop out. The power of a story.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because what you're doing resonates with a lot of people. It might not resonate with me, like she said, she's not into gaming, I'm not into gaming, but it does resonate with a lot of people, especially the Gen Z. You understand? So now look for a story to tie with what you do
Yes.
and tell it all true.
Yes.
You understand? You have clear marketing plan, you have clear financial plan. A lot of things I would ask, you have it. She's talked about your stakeholder management, potential partners that you can work
Yeah.
with. You look at that, you talk about it. Then incorporate that storytelling. Let us feel it. Let us feel what you do, impacting an individual through a story.
Yeah, and my thinking was, I love the idea of mixing technology into education, especially as the young ones are coming up. Like some of you probably, when you just had tech around you since you were born, and it's a good way for them to learn. But we found it just so happens that the building next door, EF, has the largest language learning platform in the world, with millions of users using it every day, and we look at companies like Duolingo and say, should we buy them or not? Like that kind of thing. And we decided what's missing really, what makes it a bit different is using the technology to leverage real relationships. So it's, if it's always a chat bot and it's always, it's like predetermined things, if there's no human interaction, it's harder for them to remember, beyond the basic things, because you create feelings. Would it be too expensive then to, as you grow, add a human element to it? Could they interact with somebody real as part of the process?
Yes. First, I think our differentiating point is that when we look into the factors of, let me look for the right slide, we look into the AR integration. One of the biggest hits is that we are targeting kids from 6 to 12 years old because, as Julio mentioned, the problem is there's currently no need and nor implementation for sustainability education at such young age. So that's why we are starting with the AR integration. This momentum of go outside, play with, for example, Pokemon Go. That was a hit a few years ago where augmented reality allowed you to connect with other people while going outside. So us using this object recognition allows the children to scan items within themselves and allows the institutions to be interested in joining the programs. Additionally, we have the marketing campaigns, which Ani and Ahmed can explain in deeply, to answer your factors of we're thinking ahead. We're thinking about the fact that this platform can go worldwide, and we need to understand that this goes into what Ani will explain now.
Yes. I'll wait for her to get there. So, of course, one of the first things that we thought about, because schools, if you're targeting children from 6 to 12, the first mode to approach them is through their schools. They're there every day, they interact with their friends. That's their first relationship with the world, basically, outside of their home. So a lot of things, going to school partnerships, especially the pilot programs, testing it maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day in classrooms and gauging children's interest in climate education and sustainability. That's something that their interest can grow over time, taking them from elementary to university, just to help them understand how important this is, and to also make it interactive outside of the classroom, especially going into like the gaming aspect. It's important, especially as the world is going. A lot of kids tend to be inside with their technology and just on their phone or on the video game all day, and it's important to make sure that they go outside and they interact. And that's where the AR challenges come into play, but also the schools to make sure that they are interacting in an environment with their other classmates. They can talk to them about what they are learning on this platform. And then we have digital marketing to parents, because while our end audience is children, they are not at the point where they are able to make decisions for themselves. So we advertise to their parents as well, telling them or giving them advice on how to parentally control their kids' usage with this, and also telling them showing them the laws that we abide by with Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. If we wanted to expand into Europe further down the line, the GDPR as well, Children's Television Act, which controls the kind of content that is being projected to children at this stage. It's something that we have to advertise to parents to make them understand that we are within these guidelines and we have their children's best interest at heart. And then we have content marketing as well, community and events platforms also, just to make sure that they are spreading this information and also interacting with this information amongst others and not just themselves. Because if you are talking to your friend about it, it's more fun for you to learn together than just learning alone. And advertisements on kids platforms as well, like cartoons, corporate sponsorships, which Ahmed will talk about.
Yeah. For the corporate sponsorship, it's very simple. We're going to partner with many companies like Unilever of the world, Shell of the world, and what it will do, they will partner with us to create tailored program as per their organization, let's say related to fuel consumption, related to recycling, and kind of, it would be kind of sponsored to several countries, schools, where students and children and institutions cannot afford to pay this fee. On top of that, right now you see the dilemma in the world is anti-money laundering. So every organization has kind of, this kind of, ethical training for their own employees. This is the future for us, where not only children, eventually corporate will ask their employees as well to learn about this using those customized, tailored modules that we will create for them.
Additionally, going into expanding onto the launch plan and some concerns about why 18 months? Why are we starting this launch plan looking forward into, and then we can look into more financials actually, sorry, Julia, is that when you look into the launch plan, we're not introducing institutions or organizations until we know that the product is okay, until we know that the laws and regulations are applied. Why? Because we know that institutions like to plan their content within 4 or 5 months by the end of the year. So we need to know that within a year or 2 years from now, we will know where we can introduce this content and what time within the year institutions can bring our platform and implement it within institutions.
On the testing side of it, you're saying time up, but I'm curious because we've tried to go to any public institution. They have no time left to experiment because they have this curriculum they've got to do. Private schools, everybody's offering them free stuff to try so they can get the data. They have too much on offer. How would you convince them that yours is a better thing to try out? Because everybody's claiming that I love your mission statement, by the way.
Thank
And
you.
everything you said
Guys,
is built around it, but it's, how would you get them on board
Great.
differently than the others?
I think that can be answered in two sections. The first one being in feedback and then revenues. The first one being we have this feedback, it's from real feedback that we have conducted in the last week. So we know that kids are actually interested, and actually when we go into Charleston, for example, where some of the institutions in the higher education sector closer to us, they're looking into applying this because although they get free stuff, they're losing a factor of constant checking. Are you liking our product? Or how are the polls controlled when we look into checking that the program is actually working? And that's why we always, through any phase, we apply the feedback analysis and implementation. And that,
Are you? No, you guys have to stop because you can keep
Yeah,
going
yeah,
and going.
yeah.
You have thought of everything. It's great.
My
We're
only
really
question,
passionate
my
about
only
this.
You
question
really do a good
is,
job.
do you guys want to do this or you just want to fulfill a grading stuff?
Like, would you wanna
Push
push
with
it to
it?
become like concrete?
Why not?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because
Why
you
not?
guys
It's a great
should.
idea.
You
Once
guys
it's
should.
already,
We're opening our checkbooks. We're going to be paying them.
Like institutions and municipalities
Yes.
to get their
Wow, a
feedback.
lot for just a week.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, this work, it's been for 4 weeks and all of the research has been verified within a week. So we believe in the potential of the
Teamwork.
company.
So I handed out the case 4 weeks ago, so
Oh,
roughly,
okay.
and but the real work for the challenge has been a very good week. Yeah,
No, but they're ready.
They are ready. Yeah.
Good.
They're ready.
you know how it is. I always take
Appreciate
20% of whatever you.
We'll give you 30.
Oh, dirty!
If you take 30% of any
I don't know
potential
what
loss.
you did in your mouth. I can't quite imagine. Please continue.
Great job, everybody.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very